All right, again, party people, we are back. This is Troy Vaughn, also known as Trey Amazing, and you know that sound, ding, ding, ding. We're back. Ringside presents Corner Confessions, and I'm here with Bem Joiner. For those that don't know, he is the co-founder of Atlanta Influences Everything. It's a great merch, clothing apparel brand that I recently discovered on Instagram, and him allowing me to sit down with him, honoring me with this interview means a lot. And he is someone who I think, in addition to being the co-founder of a very successful clothing brand, someone that I feel has an interesting and great perspective on dating and relationships in a city as unique as Atlanta. So before we, dive right into it, really quickly, are you originally from Atlanta or are you a transplant like me?
Southwest Atlanta, West End.
SWAT. Okay.
Yeah.
Went to school over there. Okay.
Yeah, and more specific, with all due respect to the Grady baby, because that's how we identify the natives. Mm-hmm. I'm not a Grady baby. My mom was a social worker at Grady while I was in her stomach. She wanted a natural birth, so I was born in Douglasville, which is what, I don't know, 30 minutes outside Atlanta, maybe.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, my birth certificate says whatever the hospital is in Douglasville. So I'm not a Grady baby, but as soon as I was born, came back to Atlanta. So
okay,
I gotta get at.
Okay, but definitely, you are straight up ATLien.
Yeah.
Born and raised.
Okay. And I'm 43. Mm-hmm. So if you do the math of when I was born and raised in Atlanta, that would be a particular time period. I guess some people call it a heyday or whatever, but yeah, it defines my current character, being raised in that time period. Because you could be a Grady baby born in 2009. That's a different Atlanta, you know what I mean? So yeah.
You're born in the 70s, raised in the 80s, different time frame. We're talking about completely different scene. A lot of people, a lot of the possibly millennials or even the Generation Z probably can't identify.
And that would affect the dating game in a way. So, yeah.
Awesome transition. I think that's a great segue because your clothing brand is, Atlanta Influences Everything. Mm-hmm. That has to include the dating and relationship, culture here in the city because Atlanta is unique in a lot of great ways. And so, a lot of people in the United States, frankly, actually the world, looks to cities like Atlanta for, different trends, different cultures, innovations, so on and so forth. I mean, this place, Atlanta's been called the Black Mecca, for many, many, many years now. So Atlanta having the type of influence it has, and you being here, dating here and, you're, dating, ups and downs and whatnot. How do you feel a city as unique as Atlanta influences dating and relationships, particularly dating and relationships as it relates to Black love?
Man. I guess it's probably kind of complex, but at the same time, I thought as I hear it come out your mouth, I could kind of speak to the whole ethos of it, because my lifestyle is or how I got here is a very kind of unique, just don't participate in the typical space of dating. Mm-hmm. But was just having this conversation the other night on, if everybody, any city USA has happy hour, right? Mm-hmm. Speed dating, you know what I'm saying? And that's in the physical. And then in the digital, Match, Match.com, Tinder, or any of the apps. But Atlanta, before the apps, always had, from my understanding, an 8-to-1 female to male ratio. How it got that way, you know what I'm saying? how it got that way is also a way of how a lot of black transients got here, which would be attributed to the Atlanta University system. And so Morehouse would attract a certain type of man. Spelman would, and these are small schools, but they attract, I guess if you do the talented 10th, they attract that type of person from all over. And if you replicate that process over a while, and then you have a school like Clark Atlanta that is liberal artsy, you know what I'm saying? And so what that is attracting from all over is the same thing, is the real life version of School Days in a different world. And so when you see the data on the amount of females in college versus males, because that's real data just in general. And then if you see the data on the amount of, black females in college versus black males, again, so the 8-to-1 ratio that's in Atlanta, it exists in other places on other platforms. It actually exists on a lot of our college campuses, you know what I'm saying? And so when you have this multitude of different colleges that have different, I guess, call signals out to different types of people, the gender of that type of person will sway per the data. So it's just years of that type of migration. Then with the native base in Atlanta, being privy to years of the results of a woman from Spelman or Morehouse that came from somewhere else doing something big in Atlanta, or going somewhere else doing something big that then ripples effect back into Atlanta. So then there's this, on the local base, there's this, in my time period, you have affluent black dentists, lawyers, and so they're, when the grandfather went to Morehouse, the grandmother went to Spelman.
The whole legacy.
Yeah, you're having that, and what they are breeding is a very good looking, like, in the eye of the beholder, but a very confident, for better or worse, a certain type of female that was here that was kind of like Nunu. So that's where the ATL, movie, it got it right with T.I. Like her character.
Everybody know Nunu.
But she was slum, but wasn't. You know what I'm saying? When you saw there's certain little things, you see her one way, but then you get to the house, it's weird. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't, this ain't by Felicia. You know what I mean? It ain't that. And so Atlanta had a lot of that here. And then when you pile all the transient on top of it, I can see where the 8-to-1 came from. And so, yeah, I guess as a man, the multitude of, because this ain't LA.
Right.
The multitude of, and I do not want to start doing the Kevin Samuel shit, yo. Like, that's not, you know what I'm saying? But if I'm 43, so we all taught, my age group, you shouldn't be offended, because we grew up on Too Short, Snoop, same stuff any female listened to in my age group. So what I'm saying is, I don't know how I look, I don't know what scale, but I know I'm not tall, dark, and handsome. I know I'm not you know what I'm saying? I know who I am. So Atlanta, from a female, not only is it 8-to-1, but Atlanta got a lot of 7-8s.
Right.
A lot of them. And they're college educated. Amazing. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
but it's a large pool. You know what I'm saying?
It brings, like, I definitely agree. It brings that kind of, professional and student, and the Atlanta University Center is a big reason why. I mean, I got here in 1997, to attend college, shout out to Morehouse College. I came all the way from Memphis, and coming to Atlanta, I heard about the ratio. When you said 8 to 1, that's pretty conservative. When I think about what others told me. When I got down here, I heard people saying it was 12 to 1. I heard people saying it was 15 to 1. But a lot of upperclassmen, a lot of people were saying, man, in Atlanta, it's like a black man's paradise. Every black man got their pick of women, especially black women. And over the years, being here, almost 25 years, I've seen, okay, yeah, number-wise, they may be right, but as far as quality, quality is going to look different, from person to person. And so you're right, but I do think the Morehouse, the Spelman, the Clark, the Morris Browns, I mean, that even in that microcosm of the city, it does attract a lot of transplants, a lot of people coming here with dreams of getting a higher education and becoming somebody, so on and so forth. And after a while, that does mix into the culture of Atlanta. I mean, it does, change the landscape. It affects the landscape. And so, I'm definitely feeling you. That ratio is something else, though, because it's something that's propagated and perpetuated over time. I mean, everybody has their own numbers. To a young man coming, if a young man were to reach out to you who doesn't live in Atlanta but is considering moving to Atlanta, reach out to you and say, hey man, for either for school or for work or entrepreneurship, they're thinking about packing their bags and coming to Atlanta, and in addition to school or work, they're interested in dating. What are some things that you would express to another man, around your age group, as far as what to expect regarding, dating here?
Man, the things have changed. It's crazy to speak to that in the COVID age, which, Atlanta open, so give or take, did the COVID age change, and it has to a certain extent, but and shit, way folk getting shot up, I say strap up before you go out on the dating scene. Vest, condoms, yeah, that for strap up. Nah, but for real,
oh yeah, that's real here too.
The myriad. It is open season, I guess, right now in Atlanta, man. There's just Atlanta's like the show Euphoria. If y'all don't know, you look up the show Euphoria on HBO. But it's these wild young people, you know what I'm saying? But it's current, like what they on. And Atlanta is that in its levels, you know what I'm saying? But I guess if you're moving here, you would have to understand that this is a place that does happy hours, like just for teachers, right? And because teachers now, they our age, our peers are teachers, and so these motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Good, bad, and ugly, just on GP as my peer. And, or they'll just tell you like, shit, we finna hit this happy hour, finna jump on so-and-so. Or and the ecosystem at the school of what's going on between principal and parent, like it is a real reality TV show, behind the scenes at the schools. Because, and I'm starting with there, regardless of why you moving here, I'm letting you know a certain group of people that they're in any city USA, teachers. You know what I'm saying? But here, this is the club promoter understands the market base. And the market base willingly shows up. And so do you think that behavior only stays at the happy hour? Yo, with the phones, this is throughout the school day. Listen, I'm telling you what I know. And so if that's the teachers, bro, And I didn't say what sex, gender fluid. I didn't say. 'Cause I ain't gotta say. It's all of them. It's all of them, bro. It's all of them. Heterosexual, bi, LG, all the letters is an age group thing mixed with a, if we're gonna talk black, let's talk black. Now, if our race is the family reunion, so you don't never get too far, you know, to your core, but everybody different. So you got the black cousin, dark, the nigga, he dark as hell, but the nigga, he only fuck with white women. Oh yeah, oh yeah, that shit. It's niggas like that in Atlanta in the sea of black women.
Oh no, I definitely met guy. No,
But that's your cousin. That's also that's somebody at the family reunion. 'Cause it's different types of, and so Atlanta is still that. So as a black man, you just have to look at Atlanta as, especially from a dating scene, to say all of the characters at the family reunion. When you look at the numbers of black in Atlanta, there's a dating scene for all of those characters at the family reunion. That's black and around the same age. So while the who they date, how they maneuver might be different, they still black and y'all still around 35 through 45. You see what I'm saying? Like you still gonna have some similarities regardless of what you into. And so that group is here. And so the what I just told you, and I just used the teachers as one, sector of people that you could identify with, to tell you that if they move it like that, then whatever the hell you come in here to do, or whoever you identify as, that more than likely that subsector group is moving in the same way. And you just got to find that scene where that's at.
Find your tribe.
That's it.
You know, Atlanta, you know, a lot of people characterize Atlanta as a melting pot. Like I said, I mean, you got, no matter what you're into, you know, you can find a group, you can find your tribe here. You know, because again, you know, it's like, you can come, you know, people come to Atlanta to express themselves, to be who they, you know, for some people they look at Atlanta as an opportunity as to be something or be who they genuinely are that they couldn't be back home in a small town, or back home where it's conservative, or back home where, you know, they feel stifled and they want to come and spread, you know, come spread.
Just had this conversation.
Right. So let's shift gears for a second, because not too long ago, like in the last couple of weeks, I interviewed the brand manager of Magic City. And, you know, I interviewed her because we talked about Magic City being the upper echelon as far as strip clubs in the city. Atlanta is known for its strip clubs. Atlanta, you know, on damn near on every corner, you're either gonna find a mega church or a strip club. And, you know, I got her perspective on how the strip club culture here affects dating. You know, I really, you know, I'm kind of curious about, you know, what are your thoughts? Because when she and I spoke, I said, you know, all the years I've been here, I said, like, as a man looking to date women, you are going to, it's not unheard of for you to meet a woman who has either stripped, is stripping, or may strip somewhere in the future. And so that club scene, that strip club scene, most certainly has pervaded dating. Can you speak to that, or can you speak to, you know, people, you know, as far as strip clubs, you know, being in a relationship? You know, we talked about, when I spoke to her, I said, you know, what would you say to the ladies if, you know, you're dating a man who enjoys going to the strip club? So in terms of relationships and dating, you know, how would you see Atlanta being strip club capital? How would that affect, you know, how a man would move and operate out here in the dating scene?
Man, it's so real what you said about, like, if you just kind of do you, I mean, you would kind of possibly happen to come across somebody with some connection to a strip club. And a homeboy of mine told me that about. This nigga said that about porn in LA. And I'm from Atlanta, so I'm like, porn. Big Hollywood porn. Yo, this chick here is a legend.
There's a lot of porn being shot in LA.
And the LA nigga was like, oh nah, yeah, she cool. That's the homie from some, nigga, what? You know her? You know what I'm saying? Like, and so, I understand though, because you can randomly be and I'm speaking off my truths, man. A few times, man. Cause I know me, man. Like I'm. First of all, let's start with this. I went to my first strip club at 14.
Oh, nice.
It was Montrese in the West End. You know, where they shot Outkast's first video.
I definitely.
Yeah.
That was where Outkast's first video was.
Yeah, in that parking lot. In the Players Ball. No, Southern Playalistic video.
You just said a mouthful, brother.
Yeah.
You're a freshman at Morehouse back. This was '97. A rites of passage was to walk to Montrese.
Wow.
That was something you just had to do. We all. I know it's called something else. I forgot.
It's called Peaches now.
Peaches, yeah.
But it was
like
Queen City after that. Then it went to Peaches. But it's still standing, still right there on the corner.
It's gonna
you know,
forever be Montrese.
Man, yo.
I did not. I'm gonna share that with somebody. That's where Southern Playalistic in the park.
Yeah. Look at the video, and you know who shot the Southern Playalistic video?
Who?
Who the producer was, which would mean he was standing in the parking lot. Diddy.
Diddy shot that?
Yeah, Diddy was the producer of the Southern Playalistic video.
I definitely know somebody who would love that information.
And there's a crazy story about Andre being shy, and Diddy coming from New York, he understood at the time the New York brand, and Atlanta was coming, and he understood more than Andre understood at the time about the importance of showcasing Atlanta. So the story goes that it was Diddy's idea to say, hey, like Andre had shot like Braves jersey and then get ready to shoot the video and was finna change into something else. And Diddy was like, nah, keep the Braves jersey on.
Represent
and
your
then
city.
he buttoned it. But Diddy said, nah, unbutton it. You know what I'm saying? Just whatever. He looking, I guess, like you through the like, nah, there's something here. So he really produced, you know, whatever. And my point, and to even tie that into the dating and strip clubs is because I went at 14 and because I'm from Atlanta, and when Andre say, nigga, we grew up on booty shake, we did not know no better things. Like, for me, because I know other Atlanta niggas, they, like clockwork, strip clubs, and because I guess I grew up on it, man, you know, like, it doesn't really do anything for me in that manner.
It's so commonplace.
Because as I would, you know, love to talk to the brand manager of Magic City, what I know, and I'm not mad at it. When you understand Vegas, you understand business. Nigga, I would love to be in the team meetings. You know what I mean? Like, Magic City's closed, nobody's going on, but all the employees, look, we got team meetings on these days. Nigga, as a customer, I would love to see how they talk about you, yo. But not in a bad way, not in a disrespectful way, bro. It's business, you know what I'm saying? So it's not that they clowning you, but in the team meetings, they gotta know you. They fucking run. It's not by happen. You don't be successful in sustaining that long by mistake.
Right.
So it's an and there's other strip clubs. You're not the only one. So how are you? This is a business, and that machine, you would go there for the experience. So, and my point is leading Magic City more toward, and I wish the city would understand this. It is reaching Grand Ole Opry. It's reaching tourist levels. So a tourism machine is different than a strip club. It's a strip club that has a certain aura to it, to where whether you into that or not, for what I've learned over the last few years running this company, kind of high up corporate white lady, you know, in town, and just kind of throw it in there and say, oh, you want to be Atlanta now, you know you can't just come to Atlanta without going Magic City.
Oh, yeah.
And other people in the space will be like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. And I'm like, but it's an experience. It ain't about the strip club. And so strip club life is strip club life. Magic City is different.
Right.
And that is what other strip clubs are. They are a well-oiled machine. So the parking lot, from the moment you cross onto their property, the money clock starts ticking. And they gonna get you for every penny of it before it go to the stripper. The parking lot attendant, nigga, the motherfucking, there's a fee to get in, but you gotta also tip the dough, motherfucker. Then you got the drinks. They got that whole bar situation, like any bar. That shit is its own business. You should see the team meet, so they finna rape you on that. No disrespect. You finna spend, me and my homeboy Joe, you finna spend $150, $200 all more before you see any titties and ass in Magic City.
Oh yeah, you gotta dance.
That's why do people who not into that life still, because it's the experience. And so all of that long soliloquy to say that it was kind of happening a little bit before the BMF era, but the BMF era obviously changed the strip club culture in Atlanta. You know, the regular person could go $100, you know what I mean? Have a good, you know, we would own, you know, $5 table dance, you know what I mean? Just Kizzy Rock, you know, old school Atlanta booty shake strip club shit. To me, that era was fun. Now the strippers might say, well, nigga, we making way more money now. Because BMF and hip hop kind of changed the game, and they, you know.
Oh, they raised the bar.
But that bar, aside from taking out of town people to the experience of Magic City, that's not, like, I stay far away from that, because that money, when you learn that, even, you know, folks say there's never enough money, you know what I'm saying? So because if there's never enough money, I respect the game, but I would rather, you know, spend that on a new Mac, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So I personally, but with my attitude towards it and understanding, however I try to make myself, shit, I done fuck with 2-3 strippers. On with that said, you see what I'm saying? So do you think me fucking with 2-3 strippers was me telling you what I just told you, but going and then spending it and being in there? Nah, nigga, the 2-3 strippers I met, humble. You would never know. To your point, that's how Atlanta is. One regular girl, like whatever, you know, you just would never know, and then you find out later. So that's how it happened, or where Atlanta has gotten now. And it was kind of like this before, but it where everybody else would go party at a club, it has become customary for a wedding party, not a bachelor party, but a wedding party, to come party at the strip club.
Oh, absolutely.
And so what happens then, which is funny, is sometimes the women in the strip club that are there hanging out with their homegirls, they actually battered than the chick on stage. You understand? And so I have seen it happen where the party became the section at the strip club. Stage right here, we first was facing this way. Some other chicks come in with their homegirls. They in town for the night. This some HBCU shit now. You know what I mean? Delta, all of that shit. Now this ain't, you know. So other than that, hey, shit, what's up? What y'all on? Next thing you know, man, the chairs done turned. stage back this way, chairs unturned. All of the non-strippers, all of the regular guy patrons, they have now engaged. Numbers are being exchanged. Things look like they might happen.
Just
Nobody,
we're not even strippers.
nobody. That's the beauty of strip clubs in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? It is what you think it is, obviously what you would go there for. But when you really understand, along with breaking the records, you know what I'm saying? It really is an ecosystem that nets other things. You know what I'm saying?
No,
So yeah.
I definitely agree. I mean, even to your point, the women that I've met here that were strippers, you know, meeting them outside of strip clubs, 100% of the time they would be women who were unassuming. Women you wouldn't think right away, but you know, they look normal, look average, but they end up telling you like, oh, I dance at this place or I dance here.
Simple.
And, you know,
Easy.
but they're out there, you know,
Easy.
it's like, kind of like you were saying about the LA thing. If you live out in LA, it is not uncommon to meet a woman who has done, you know, pornographic movies. And I would tell anybody, if you live in Atlanta, for any man, if you be out here dating women, can't be shocked. If you meet enough women, eventually you will run into a woman who's either stripping, has stripped, or will strip in the nearby future. So,
And what they, you know, because there's levels to that game. So a lot of them live here, but you won't see them strip here. You know what I mean? So it's levels to it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay. So with that being said, before we head out, just like we mentioned at the beginning, you are the co-founder of Atlanta Influences Everything. It's a clothing brand. I've seen your merch. I really want you to take this opportunity to break it down. Break down the clothing line. Let people know. We're going to have some viewers. We're going to have some subscribers. We're going to have your information in the description. But really, for anybody looking at this that is curious about your clothing brand, that is, regardless if they're a native, of the city or transplant, but agree that Atlanta influences everything and want to represent that, how can they find you and your inventory?
And I guess first of all, I do want to, make sure folks understand that it's for whoever wears the shirt. Like, it's not like you don't have to be from Atlanta.
Right.
My two business partners, I don't know, you don't gotta do anything. I mean, you saw Lil Boosie bought the Kappa shirt. You just buy it, wear it. You know what I'm saying? But my two partners aren't from here, but they have their own reason and understanding for their belief in the company. But as a company, we were a marketing company, marketing and branding company first. So we didn't set out to make T-shirts and like do merchandise. That like we were trying to pitch Nike on a project as a marketing agency, and the statement Atlanta influences everything came out my mouth in the conversation. And my partner heard it. And this is post Detroit versus everybody. So if there's something about Atlanta influences everything that gives you Detroit versus everybody vibes, it is true. You know what I'm saying? At the time, 2014, 2015, the real Atlanta slogan currently, like via the city, is every day is an opening day. And then, we kind of, 97, the city too busy to hate, early, and that. So these brands, they might have been true at one point, but they are outdated. Like, who are we? You know what I'm saying? What is Atlanta now? And it's a very hard question for those who come up with brands to answer, because there's layers to a city that's so transient, and a city that's so black transient. And so that's why the Brooklyn business partner said, hey, we need to put that statement that the Atlanta partner said on a shirt. And it hit. You know what I'm saying?
It did hit.
It hit. When it happened, though, I was working at a nonprofit that was helping community organizations find grant money. And in that, I learned the data of Atlanta is number one in the country in income inequality. So we have the largest gap between the rich and poor in the country. And then we have a 4% upward mobility rate, meaning if you're born poor in Atlanta, it's a 96% chance you'll die poor. But early in the conversation, we just said that it's the black Mecca and this and this and that. So what race in Atlanta do you think is affected the most by those statements? It's so many different types of black people here. It would be black affected most. It's kind of just the data of the city. And so while the statement Atlanta influenced everything, people were gravitating to it, and it's like, oh yeah, it give you some pride, because it gave me pride. Like, oh shit, yeah, you know, especially wearing it out of town. It did hurt to know, well, in this business, we know there's money and influence. You know what I'm saying? And so if there's money and influence, and we saying Atlanta influence everything, then why are we number one in income inequality? Why do the water boys exist? You know what I'm saying? Because we talk about dating, and you'll be out with a chick that you met in Atlanta during the dating scene. You at a light, here come the water boy. So he's a part of the Atlanta narrative, just as the 8-to-1 female ratio, because she gonna come in. Whoever the she is gonna come in contact with one of these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's all an ecosystem, and the way I was raised in the market, it's like, well, how do we use the merch and the brand to use the influence to help the city in some way? And from a business model, it took a minute to kind of get it down. But we figured out that we needed a mission statement that could get people to buy into it, no matter if you was from here, no matter if you was black. And yeah, let's go ahead and put it out there. In the marketing world, Atlanta is code word for black. Like all the brands know. To earlier point, trends and innovation, and it's a lot of the Microsoft just told you, Airbnb, East Coast Hub, Visa's new $20 million office. The amount of African American talent coming out of the AUC. You know what I'm saying? So they're telling you. You know what I'm saying? So somebody did a riff on our brand that says black culture influences everything. Yes, you're right. But see, what you fail to understand is, and I'm not even gonna say you fail to understand. You need to have that shirt, because it does. But what you miss about our brand is the play on words. So because we've been able to get the shirt on a multitude of types of people, just because saying Atlanta, identifying as black without saying black. But the funny part about it is we've had white people, though, to prove my point out, say, I like it. Is it for me though? And I'm like, wow, like why? It says Atlanta. Why are you like it? You're from it. We just had this Atlanta talk, and then you ask, but is it? And I asked why. The white person say, but I don't know, is it like a black thing? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, wow, you're asking that, but it doesn't say black. It doesn't say black culture influence everything. So once we started to kind of understand why people might want to wear it, or what their reasoning, I knew what my reasoning was. We had to make a statement that could resonate with everybody, but only the real, like everybody and not everybody at the same time. And so all of that to say, we justify the statement because I could wear it to Memphis and you could say, well, no, I don't agree with that. And to me, in one specific place, too, crunk music, all the real know it came from Memphis. You know what I'm saying? Atlanta gets the brand of it because of these 3 C's I'm finna tell you that Memphis don't have.
Break it down.
But other cities, whatever we could debate it. Just tell me then why you think your city influences everything, because I'm about to tell you mine. So the first reason we influence everything is we're the home of Dr. King, the civil rights movement. So that's 1C, civics. And Dr. King's brand, just from a brand aesthetic. I mean, you got Bob Marley, Hitler. It's only a couple other big faces and figures that you just face, everybody know. You know, every city don't get a figure like that, you know. And so Martin Luther King from Atlanta, that's us. You know what I'm saying? So civil rights. So the second C, keeping that same energy, one of the most recognizable brands in the world, you could change the language or whatever, just keep the font same. Coca-Cola. Most cities don't get a fucking Coca-Cola. I hear what you saying. Anywhere I hear what you talking about. But when I place this Coca-Cola can right here, that finna shut all that shit you talking about your city. You gonna shut it down. No disrespect. So Coca-Cola, and Atlanta's a small city, you know what I'm saying? So you get a Dr. King and a Coca-Cola from the same, wow. So we use Coca-Cola, and we have a strong chamber of commerce here. There's a lot of companies moving here, businesses flowing. So corporate commerce is what we call that second C. Okay. So civic, corporate commerce. And then the third C, man, the mic drop, man, the home of Outkast. You know what I'm saying? And so Outkast and just what they did for hip hop and black culture is the third C. It's the home of urban culture because of what we spoke about, the AUC. So just to make sure folks understand urban culture, black culture, I didn't say Grady born on Atlanta soil culture. The folks from here, they are old understanding of folks that grew up in it, and whether they know it or not, they helped till the soil and lay the wet concrete for all of this to be built upon. You know what I'm saying? But those that came, they brought they food and they dress and they dance from Memphis, from St. Louis, from Jackson, Mississippi, from Jacksonville, Florida, from Queens, from LA. They brought they blackness and they stuff from out there here to this safe place. And to your point about being able to be coming from a small town or somewhere and being able to come to Atlanta, just had this conversation the other day about Atlanta having 2 gay pride parades and why at first it looked like a racist thing, but why it is starting to turn into a just a unique thing, not necessarily that they want to be separate, but an understanding of the value of the other. And when people in Atlanta say, well, shit, nigga, that gay shit, that's that new shit. You know what I'm saying? Yes and no. So, of course, it was gay folks. You know what I'm saying? When Atlanta say that, it is an understanding. It is an ode to, like, San Fran. And, like, if our age group, if we was always this, we'd have known we was San Fran when we was 7, 8. You see what I'm saying? That wasn't what it was. So the gayness came when everything else came. So as Atlanta blossomed and grew, it attracted levels, different types of people. One of the reasons, because it was one of the most progressive southern cities, come to find out, and the data will show, especially our age group, the black or white or rando gay person from Little Town, Arkansas, wherever the fuck, around the South, whatever. You our age, you know there's a village for you in San Fran. You know, but, you know, You don't want to go too far away from family, you know, whatever, or you might, whatever. But when you go out there, it's a different cost of living. It's levels to this, different cost of living. Now, you going out there, you have a safer village, but I hope your money up, you know what I'm saying? And they might laugh at your country ass accent. You see what I'm saying? Which you don't think is a problem sounding like that. But you come to Atlanta, it's a safe place, bro. You can still keep your southern sensibilities. You can still really do everything you was doing in your small southern town, because we still southern. It's just a melting pot to that point. And so the amount of dollar and, you know, the amount of dollar growth that has come in from being a safe space, and safe space to be black at its what's the most you can be black, for better or worse. Atlanta's a safe space for that. And so because it became that safe space for all of that, that's how the trends just start. It's a I hate to use New Orleans, the gumbo. It is a gumbo of blackness that we all know. Black culture, sometimes we don't even know we create, we just doing us. And sometimes we're not the creator of the thing. Sometimes we are. And sometimes the thing already existed. It wasn't doing nothing. We remixed it and now it's something. That just comes from being us. Atlanta's a safe place that allows for that to happen because of all these different types of black people. And so those 3 C's, excuse me, and the point is that urban culture, we know it eventually will become pop culture. And if you travel around the world, you just see motherfuckers trying to mimic America all day. But then black, and if you start to remember Columbo, you start to investigate the Scooby-Doo kids, you investigate the breadcrumbs. Hey, where is this leading me? I'm trying to find, where did this come from? It's gonna lead you back to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And so those 3 C's, the civic, the corporate commerce, and the culture, that is what we are here for. So when you buy the shirt, yeah, say it, but now you can wear it with some sort of like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, we out here moving things around. You know what I'm saying? We just trying to capitalize on it and figure out how to leverage that influence as a city. So we consult on that. So at AtlantaInfluenceEverything.com. No, excuse me. At Atlanta Influences Everything on all social media handles.
At Atlanta Influences Everything.
Yes. And website is AIE.life. So that's AIE.LIFE.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, we're going to have all that information in the description for all the viewers and subscribers. All you got to do is look in the description, just click on the link, and it will take you directly to the Instagram and the website. And I've had an opportunity to check out the inventory. It's dope. I'm definitely feeling what you guys are doing with this brand, and I encourage y'all to keep it up because you guys are certainly making waves, and the reputation is growing. So, you know, mad kudos. Bem Joiner, thank you so much for joining me today. Everybody, this has been another epic installment of Corner Confessions by Ringside. If you're out there on social media, if you're on Facebook, make sure you type in Ringside LLC in the search bar. Request to join the digital private group, and either myself or one of my admins will admit you to it. And again, make sure you subscribe to the Ringside YouTube channel. Tell your people, tell your friends, tell your classmates, tell your line brothers, your line sisters, even tell people you don't even like. Make sure you subscribe. And on that note, we will see you.
Oh, one more thing. If you coming to Atlanta and date, it's a crazy world. Y'all already know this. It's a Facebook group for that. And that'll take you wherever you're trying to go. That's it.
All right, I'm with that. All right, y'all. We will see y'all later.